Hello and welcome to this week's Wild Spirits News. My name is Sibylle, and today I'm going to give you a history of time and how to create more of it. Okay, most people are going to see this title and think this is going to be yet another list on how to get more done in less time. Admit it, that's kind of what you expected, isn't it? If it is, I've got to disappoint you because it is a little different. What this is a discovery that I've made about time that is so huge it could literally change your entire life. So your mission today is to find out how to understand time and to find out how to literally expand time and create more of it to do what lights you up. Task number 1 is called Understand that time is a new concept. Did you know that the first public clock on a church appeared only in the 14th century? This might seem a long time ago, like wow, 600 years ago, over 600 years ago. But from an evolutionary standpoint, it's very recent indeed. It's not something that is very ingrained in people, time as a concept. It's one of those newfangled inventions of modern times. And get this, the clock on the church tower in the 14th century only struck the hour. You couldn't see any minutes or anything, or quarter hours or whatever. The time was not nearly as structured as we perceive it today. And clocks weren't very accurate until the late 17th century. There they became more accurate, but they still were nowhere near as omnipresent as clocks are these days. The time when clocks and exact timekeeping first became really important and central to people's lives was during the Industrial Revolution. That is when workers had to appear on time, and the shift was a certain number of hours long. So this is when it started, and this is also when more and more people had clocks at home, and then obviously personal watches and later wristwatches appeared, and these days we live by the clock. What you have to understand though is that it's a relatively new concept, and that is why a lot of us, or most of us, actually all of us, we're not very good with time, because it's not a concept that is really ingrained in us as humans. Task number 2 is called focus. You have to realize that these days we do more than people ever did in history. All we learn about is that historically people who lived off the land did back-breaking work, and yes, they did indeed. They worked very hard. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're working harder. In fact, we don't work as hard because we have washing machines and don't have to wash our clothes by hand anymore and stuff like that. But we do more in the sense of more things. There's more stuff going on. Historically, people had one task. They were a farmer and they grew the crop. They were a housewife and they looked after the children. Obviously, there was a lot of work. Again, it was a lot of work, but it was one area of life where they had to do things. These days we try to do it all. We have a job, we're gone for 9 hours or 10 hours a day in our jobs, and we also try to live healthy, to exercise regularly, to exfoliate, to look good, to get clothes shopping, to have a social life, to learn things, to do this course, and to join the book club and turn up here. And it is insane, and has never been like that in history. It's no wonder that we're always exhausted and never find time for anything. So your task number 2 is to focus, which means to simplify. You need to cut things out of your life. Obviously, you can't do that during this video, but you should become aware of it and then afterwards take measures. I suggest to start off with, look at the 4 areas of yourself, which is the mind, body, soul, and spirit. I say it again: the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. And for each of these, focus on one thing that is important. Keep that in your life. For example, if your morning run is important to you, then keep that. But don't also try to do 10 other things. If your yoga is important, do your yoga. That kind of thing. Focus on one. Doesn't mean you are not allowed to do anything else. We don't have to be as radical as that. But focus on the one thing so that when that one thing is done, you're happy. Anything else is icing. Task number 3 is called Passions Expand Time. Now that you've created a bit of space by focusing and simplifying, it is time to literally expand time. And you do this by focusing on what lights you up, focusing on your passion. Now this sounds a bit weird, but as much as we can measure time these days, we're much better than they were centuries ago. We're very accurate in measuring time, but time is still relative. You might have heard me mention before Gay Hendricks' chapter on Einstein time in The Big Leap. Much recommended, read this book. I keep saying it, I will keep saying it because it's just a fantastic book. So the way to expand time, to make use of the relativity of time and how we perceive it, is to focus radically on the thing or things that light you up. So you prioritize your passion. Radically, don't worry about anything else. This is really hard, I know. But try not to worry about anything else and focus on your passion. Also keep in mind the 4 things from task 2, for body, mind, soul and spirit. So keep those in mind as well, but otherwise you really focus on your passion. And you will see time literally expanding. I can't explain why this happens, but it does. You will find yourself relaxing. You will feel a lot less stressed, and you will find that you have plenty of time for everything important in your life. I know this sounds unbelievable, so I just invite you to try it out and see what it does for you. Task number 4 is, as usual, let me know. What are you taking away from this video? What is your main action point that you're going to do? Is it the focusing, the simplifying, mind, body, soul and spirit? Is it the, is it the focus on the passion? What are you going to do? Hit the reply button on the email that you got the link to the video with and write to me and I'll write back to you, I promise. If you didn't get the link to the video in an email, that means you're not part of the Wild Spirits community yet and you should join us. Go to wildspiritscoaching.com and fill in a little form there. You can also do a free life audit on this page. If you fill in the form at the end of the life audit, one of the things that'll do is get you subscribed to the Wild Spirits news. The newsletter is 100% spam free. It's 1 email per week, that's it. You'll get lots of additional information and articles, recommendations of books and other resources, and sometimes you get exclusive offers that are exclusive only to my subscribers that nobody else ever gets to see. So go to wildspiritscoaching.com and sign up. You can also Google Wild Spirits Coaching, that'll get you to the website as well. Thank you for watching.